Alright, in regards to JD, your first album,
Yeah.
I gotta ask you, what's your favourite song on there?
Favourite song? There's two favourites, and I'll give reasons for both.
Go on.
Number one, it's Badi Der Ho Gayi Veeriya Katthe Hoya Ki Beeti Nu.
Okay.
Mainly because obviously everyone's parents in the 70s, 80s, they came over to England.
That's right.
Apne parwar chhad ke. And the families that were in India, there hasn't been a song made for them, you know what I mean?
Right.
And I remember when I was in India and missing my brother, missing my family, the feeling that you have then, you know what I mean? I kind of portrayed that feeling in Badi Der. And when I went out to India and I performed the song, I realized the response is really emotional for the people that were listening to the song. You know what I mean?
Right.
For that reason, I like Badi Der. In terms of musically and vocally, the most challenging song from my album was Tera Mera Milna Rab Ne Na Likhiya Si.
Right.
Because it was in terms of composition, it's a very difficult song to sing.
Right.
So musically, it has to be that song.
Okay, see, I've heard, I mean, occasionally that in regards to Badi Der, that a lot of the elders have said that because you seem so young that you can't really relate to it. I mean, is there anything... I mean, you're 25 and it sounds like it's for the ones who are in their 40s, 50s and such. I mean, has that affected you? Is it the first time you're hearing it from me? Or is
you know, I have heard it because the thing is... because that feeling that they had, probably your parents had, my parents had, in the 70s, I couldn't have that feeling because I wasn't around then, you know what I mean? But the thing is... from hearing from my grand, from my dad, you know, when they first came over, that feeling I kind of grew into that feeling. And when I went away to India, away from my family, you know what I mean, I obviously knew how I felt when I was there.
Away from my first hand, you
know what I mean? I was over there rather than my parents coming here, kind of thing. So I inherited that kind of feeling. So that's why in the lyrics, obviously, there's a lot of emotion in the way I've sung it as well.
Yeah, I definitely have noticed that as well. And well done for that one. It's got to be an anthem for 2010 and now 2011 as well. Yeah. So are you ready for it? If I see you doing a little...
Tesi ke dard judai teri da sathon lukda nahi lukaya kuch samjha de arondiya akhiyan nu वतनी फेरा क्यों ना पाया देश अफगाने लाले डेरे वतनी दस कद पौने फेरे हुण तक कई साल बीत गए मुलाकात के तीनों बड़ी देर होगी बीरिया बड़ी देर होगी वीरिया कट्ठियां बैठ के पीती नो बड़ी देर होगी वीरिया कट्ठियां बैठ के पीती नो.
You got a new single out now?
Yes, I have. Yes.
Working alongside your brother.
Yes, finally. Finally get the chance to work with him.
This the dirt. How was it like to actually work with your brother?
It was a good experience, you know, because it was interesting to see music from a DJ's point of view. Because the DJ, they drop tunes in clubs, they drop tunes at weddings, you know what I mean? So like, it's interesting to see what he came to me, because I wouldn't have, if the product wasn't good enough for me, I wouldn't have done it, you know what I mean? Because I'm straight up, with music I have no compromises, you know what I mean? I like to, when I work on songs, I like to be confident in the song and then work on the actual song. So like, he came with a concept, he said, look, I want to do a first dance kind of vibe song, Punjabi, filmy kind of vibe, yeah? I was like, alright, cool. And he's like, I want you to collaborate with Jayashree, the woman who sang Ek Bari.
Yeah.
And not many people know this, but she's the person who taught me light music, taught me Hindi singing, Punjabi singing, you know what I mean? The style of singing. She gave me my style of singing. Right. So for me, it was like...
It must have been an experience.
It was like, wow, like I'm working with my teacher, you know what I mean?
That's good.
So it was just that kind of, that generated a lot of interest. And then after that, he said, look, I want to record the strings and everything in Mumbai, but we'll do the arrangement here in the UK. So cool, we started working on it, putting a few concepts together in terms of lyrics. We got the song written by Amarjeet Musapuria, बहुत अच्छे गीतकार ने. उन्होंने मैं शुरू किया, उस तो बाद in composition, and then we did the guide track here. I took it to Mumbai and recorded there, man.
Any लड़ाइयाँ?
लड़ाइयाँ?
लड़ाइयाँ दे होंगे.
You know what? In terms of lyrics, there was a kind of bit of. He kicked up a bit of a fuss with some of the lyrics, because I remember the first verse we got it rewritten like 3 times. He was like, "Nah, I want it written like this."
Right.
I was like, "Nah, it's cool. It sounds really good." But
we had your brother obviously in the studio back 2 weeks ago, right? And he's saying there's two versions to this track.
There are. Yeah.
So are you going to be releasing the other version of it?
Yes, we might even be giving it away as a free download. You know that?
Oh, fantastic!
Yeah. I'm thinking about it. Let's see what your views are, the listeners' views are.
Good stuff.
There you go. We'll do a bit of a poll throughout the weeks for a free download from Jaz Dhami. I'm pretty sure no one's going to say no.
No one's going to say no, yeah. Anything free, yeah, we'll have it, no problem with it.
Yeah, put the 79p aside and happy days. Right, now we've got an email from a Curran in Handsworth, and he asked you, who's in your new album? Are you doing
new album? You know what? I'm working on 10 tracks for my new album.
Right. Is that including remixes or?
No, it's just 10 straight tracks, no remixes.
Oh,
yeah.
Fantastic.
I can't give away who I'm working with.
Ooh.
I can't because my management. If he's listening, I'll be getting in trouble. But expect something. I'm being serious. Like expect something different, something that I've never done before.
Okay.
And expect something urban as well. Don't worry, it's not English singing. I won't be doing that. It's going to be Punjabi singing, but expect something out the box, something that a way you haven't seen before on screen, and also in terms of music as well.
Okay. So given that you can't mention who you got on a new forthcoming album, in regards to, I mean, who would you ultimately love to work with?
In producer or
give your top three.
Singer? Producer. Singers would have to be Sakwinder Singh.
Okay.
Asha Bhosle. And probably someone like, if for Punjabi in Punjab, Sardu Sikandar.
Ah, nicely said. Yeah. I gotta say, out of the three, I think you're the only one who's ever mentioned them basically. And well done. I mean, Sardu Sikandar is definitely one of my favourites. The guy can change his voice into whatever. He can do a
amazing
song
singer,
really well.
Amazing singer.
But fantastic. I mean, okay. When are we looking to see you on your
album? The thing is, I'm aiming for this year for the album, but I don't like to set a date because obviously there's always not delays, but I like to set a date when I know comfortably that it's going to come out on this date kind of thing. So we're aiming for the summer maybe for my first single, and then after that it'll be my second single, probably third single, then the album late this year or early next year.
Alright then, in terms of yourself, what are your plans for, say, like, you know, for the next 10 years possibly? Where do you see yourself in 10 years' time?
Bollywood?
The thing is, I'd love to be there, man. But you know, it's you can't predict. In music, you can't predict where you're going to be. But what you can have ambitions and have targets. Yeah, and my ambitions and targets are obviously to become a playback singer. That's where my passion lies.
Okay.
But there's one thing I'll never do. A lot of people ask me this question: will you leave Punjabi music? I will never leave Punjabi music because it's where I made a foundation, where I got recognition, and secondly, I'm a Punjabi. It's what I do. You know what I mean? It's what my Punjabi maa boli di seva karna hai, and you know what? I'm going to do it until I'm finished.
Fantastic. Just for the sake of the listeners out there as well, could you just define what playback singer is? A playback singer is a person that sings for Bollywood movies. For example, someone like Sakwinder Singh who sang Darte Disco for Shah Rukh Khan. That's what a playback singer is. Oh, fantastic. Good now, there's lots of up-and-coming artists out there, people who want to get in what you have right now. I mean, is there any advice for them? You know, I can't give any major advice because I'm relatively new as well in the industry. Right. But what I can say is there's one element that I think every successful singer, every successful person has got, and that's dedication. You know what I mean? Right. Yeah. If you're dedicated in what you do, you can do whatever you want. Okay. You're just going to be focused. A lot of people are not focused in what they want to do. Right. You've got to know and set yourself a goal, a target, and work towards it. And that's what I've done. And hopefully you guys will take the same advice and take that on as well. Oh, fantastic! So all you upcoming artists out there, you want to be singers? There you go. He's got some free advice from Jaz Dhami. Okay, to all the artists that come into the studio, we always ask this. You know, it might be controversial kind of question, but in terms of ghost production, what are your views on ghost production? I think it depends what you say when you say ghost production, because there's a lot of misinterpretations of it. I think it's a German terminology where someone approaches somebody else. Like, here's my ideas. I want you to produce it for me, do all the work for me, and here's an extra bit of bucks to stay quiet and say it's on my name, basically. See, I don't personally don't agree with that, because when you're doing a production, you should have some sort of input in the production. Right. For example, not many people know this, but someone like Pritam, for example, who does so many Hindi films. Everyone in Bollywood, this is how it's been sourced in Bollywood. When I worked with my uncle for songs, I asked him, look, when you say music director, what's a music director? Right. And he said, music director, he goes, this is what we do in Mumbai. We have a person doing beat patterns. We have a person coming doing
a person coming in and doing chord work and stuff, person coming in playing the instruments, and a person mixing the song, and the director composes everything. So what I'm doing is I'm sourcing out stuff. For example, I'm sourcing out someone to make the product, to make the beats for the song, sourcing out someone to make do the musical pieces for the song. That's what a music director is. But ghost production, what you're saying, ghost production is someone that does nothing, just pay someone to do it.
That's right, yeah, basically.
I don't really agree with that. I mean, if you're a producer, if you want to come into this industry, you've got to know what you're talking about in terms of music. In terms of producers, a lot of producers don't know how to play instruments. But you know what? It's a misconception that if you can't play an instrument, you're not a producer.
Right.
That's a complete fib, because someone like David Guetta, like David Guetta, he's not a musician. You don't have to be a great musician to be a great producer. You've got to understand music.
Well said. Well, in regards to producers, I mean, is any in particular you would love to work with?
Producers, in terms of well, I would say someone like A. Rahman.
Hey, nice.
Someone like A. Rahman, someone like Dr. Dre, even, man. He's crazy with his beats.
I like how you reach for the stars. I do appreciate that.
All right.
Right. I mean, unfortunately, we are coming towards the end of the interview, and I gotta say, Jaz, thank you very much. You've been a fantastic.
Thank you, man. Thank you, guys.
Basically, that's all I can say.
Man. Thanks for having me.
And the next song we are going to play is DJ Harvey's version of Tere Naal.
Oh, wicked, man.
Yeah.
And
I'd like to sing a few lines for you guys, man. Tere naal mohabbat ho gayi hai, tere naal mohabbat ho gayi hai, ki dassiye jind tere sone supneya de vich kho gaye, ki dassiye jind तेरे सोने सुपने दे विच खो गए, तेरे नाल मोहब्बत हो गई है, तेरे नाल मोहब्बत हो गई है.
Absolutely fantastic, ladies and gents. That was obviously Jaz Dhami with his new track Tere Naal. And before we go, just a big massive thank you to yourself for coming into the studio, Jaz, and we hope to see you back into the studio very soon, talking about for in the future with your new album and everything. Ladies and gents, the next track is of course Tere Naal by DJ Harvey, featuring the vocals of Jaz Dhami and Jay Shri Shivram. So this is once again, ladies and gents, a big massive thank you to DJ Harvey for producing this track with the vocals of Jaz Dhami.